The magical forest awakens to the cheerful chirping of birds and the early morning sunlight filtering through the leaves. A new day begins, full of joy and surprises.
This place is home to many lovely creatures, but today we will get to know 4 special friends: agile brown squirrel, kind-hearted big bear, shy white rabbit, and intelligent golden-eyed owl. Brown squirrel is a mischievous boy, always full of energy. He can climb the tallest trees in the blink of an eye, and his small ears are constantly perked up, listening to every sound of the forest. Big Bear is completely the opposite, a gentle and slow friend. He loves honey and often spends the whole day searching for the most delicious honeycombs. White Rabbit, with her snow-white fur, is a very shy girl. She always hides behind bushes and is afraid of new things. But deep inside her little heart is a big dream, to find sweet carrots on her own. And finally, Golden-eyed Owl, with his bright, shining eyes, is an intelligent and observant friend. He is always ready to help everyone with useful advice.
Ho! Ho!
Golden-eyed Owl calls out, awakening the entire forest. A new day has arrived, everyone. Big Bear yawns widely, rubbing his still sleepy eyes.
Oh, it's too early. Just a little more sleep.
But Brown Squirrel quickly jumps down from the tree, starting to tease Big Bear.
Hey Big Bear, wake up.
The sun is already high in the sky. If you're not quick, someone else will take all the good honey. Big Bear grumbles a few words and reluctantly sits up, his stomach rumbling for breakfast. And White Rabbit, the little girl, is standing trembling before the cave entrance, preparing for her first carrot-seeking journey. As night fell, the forest was usually radiant under the gentle moonlight. But tonight, something strange happened. Everyone suddenly realized that a part of the sky was missing. The crescent moon, the slender moon that usually appears after a full moon, had disappeared. A cold wind blew through, carrying worry with it. The forest was plunged into darkness, and familiar sounds suddenly became more frightening than ever. White Rabbit trembled and nestled into Bear's arms, eyes wide as he looked up at the pitch-black sky.
The moon. Where did the moon go?
White Rabbit asked softly, his voice trembling. Bear hugged White Rabbit, trying to reassure him.
Don't be afraid, White Rabbit.
Maybe the moon is just hiding. We'll find it. Brown Squirrel, despite still maintaining his playful demeanor, couldn't help but worry. He climbed to the tallest tree, trying to observe if there were any clues. Nothing. I've looked all over the forest, I can't find the crescent moon anywhere. Golden-eyed Owl descended, his sharp golden eyes scanning the forest.
Let me see.
Perhaps the moon didn't disappear on its own. There must be some trace of something. Golden-eyed Owl began to fly around, carefully observing every nook and cranny of the forest. His keen eyes quickly spotted a few black feathers scattered on the ground. Friends, look at this. Golden-eyed Owl called out. These are raven feathers. Perhaps the raven did something to the crescent moon.
Bear Fatty seid. Mischievous Raven.
It must be him. To prepare for the journey, Bear Fatty took out his jars of delicious honey. Eat some honey, everyone. It will give us strength. Brown Squirrel quickly took a jar of honey and licked it eagerly. Wonderful. Bear Fatty's honey is always the best. White Rabbit hesitantly took a little honey. She knew that to find the crescent moon, she needed to be braver. And these sweet drops of honey, along with the encouragement of her friends, helped her gain a little courage. Where should we go now? Asked White Rabbit. Golden-eyed Owl replied, We will follow the raven's trail. I think he has taken the crescent moon to somewhere. And so, the 4 courageous friends began their journey to find the crescent moon in the dark night. They didn't know what challenges lay ahead, but they believed that as long as they were united and helped each other, they would overcome all difficulties. The night is still long, and the path to find the crescent moon is not easy. First, they must cross the rushing stream. The stream water is freezing cold, sweeping away everything in its path. Brown Squirrel quickly and agilely climbed onto a tree branch and jumped across, but White Rabbit trembled, not daring to step forward. I can't get across, White Rabbit mumbled, her eyes brimming with tears. Brown Squirrel turned back, seeing White Rabbit frightened, and ran over.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
He found a strong vine, tied it to a large rock, and handed the other end to White Rabbit. Hold on tight to this, I'll pull you across. White Rabbit hesitated for a moment, then grabbed the vine. Brown Squirrel used all his strength to pull, and White Rabbit tried to keep her balance. Finally, she crossed the stream, safely standing on the shore.
Thank you, Brown Squirrel. White Rabbit said happily.
I don't know what I would have done without you. Brown Squirrel smiled brightly.
It's nothing.
Friends should help each other. After crossing the stream, they continued their journey, entering a dense thicket. Thorns and branches scratched their skin, making it difficult for them to move forward.
Suddenly, a deep voice rang out. Hello, little Ones. Where are you going?
A long snake, with shimmering scales, was coiled on a rock. It was Rolling Snake, an old friend of Golden-Eyed Owl. We are looking for the crescent moon, Bear Fatty explained. It was taken by a mischievous crow. Rolling Snake nodded.
Ah, the crescent moon?
I've heard about this. Do you know, from ancient times to the present, the moon has always been associated with magical fairy tales. People say that the moon is the home of fairies, and moonlight can bless those with pure hearts. Rolling Snake told them fairy tales about the moon, about the wonders and mysteries it holds. Those stories helped them forget the fatigue of their journey and strengthened their determination to find the crescent moon. Continuing their journey, they came to a high hill. Climbing the hill was difficult, but with mutual help, they overcame it. At the top of the hill, they met Long-Legged Monkey, a new friend.
Hello. Do you need any help?
Long-Legged Monkey asked, his eyes sparkling with joy. We need to find the crow's nest, Golden-Eyed Owl replied.
Do you know the way?
Long-Legged Monkey nodded.
I do. I'll take you there.
Long-Legged Monkey used his long arms to help them cling to high branches, crossing dangerous gaps. The journey was difficult, but thanks to each other, they overcame all challenges. They learned to be braver, more persistent, and most importantly, they understood the value of friendship. After Long-Legged Monkey showed the way, the group arrived before a dark cave. The cave entrance was vast and deep, like the mouth of a giant monster. The surrounding air was cold and damp, carrying the smell of earth and something mysterious. Are you sure this is where the crescent moon is hidden? White Rabbit trembled, his voice so small it was almost blown away by the wind. Golden-Eyed Owl tilted his head, his sharp golden eyes scanning the surroundings. This is the only cave within this range.
Raven footprints lead straight in here, and I sense a strange energy inside.
It is very likely the crescent moon is there. Fat Bear swallowed his saliva, his face full of worry. I don't like dark places. It's too dark, I'm scared. Fat Bear hugged Brown Squirrel tightly, his eyes staring into the darkness as if it would swallow him whole.
Don't be afraid, Fat Bear.
Brown Squirrel comforted.
VLL go with you. I'll protect you.
White Rabbit also tried to appear strong. That's right. We're a team.
VLL overcome this together.
Golden-Eyed Owl led the way, flying through the cave. Brown Squirrel and White Rabbit walked close to Fat Bear, encouraging him. They entered the cave, darkness enveloping everything. Fat Bear stepped cautiously, constantly yelping in fright at the bizarre shapes created by the darkness.
Ah, so meeting just touched my leg.
It's just a root, Fatty Bear. Brown Squirrel chuckled. Deeper inside, everything became darker and more difficult. Suddenly, Brown Squirrel exclaimed, "Wait a minute.
I found this."
He picked up a small stone, milky white in color, and strangely, it emitted a soft light. The light wasn't strong, but it was enough to dispel the darkness around them, helping them see more clearly.
Wonderful.
Golden-Eyed Owl cheered. This stone will help us a lot. With the light from the stone, they continued to explore the cave.
Damp stone walls, strange stalactites hanging from the ceiling, and small tunnels crisscrossing like a maze.
They walked carefully, not knowing what awaited them ahead. Guys, listen. White Rabbit said softly, his voice full of doubt.
I hear so meeting.
Everyone fell silent, listening. A faint sound like a sigh echoed from deep within the cave. Maybe we're about to find the crescent moon, Golden-Eyed Owl said, his voice full of hope. A faint sound led them to a larger room within the cave. Light from Squirrel Brown's stone shone upon a figure sitting silently on a large rock. It was an old man with a long snow-white beard and eyes that twinkled like stars. He wore a dark blue cloak embroidered with strange images of constellations. "Hello, children," Old Star said in a warm, gentle voice like a passing breeze.
I am Old Star, the keeper of the stars and the moon.
The animals were surprised and respectfully greeted him. Golden-Eyed Owl was the first to regain his composure. "We are Squirrel Brown, Fatty Bear, White Rabbit, and I am Golden-Eyed Owl.
We are searching for the crescent moon, Old Star.
We heard you know what happened to it." Old Star nodded slowly.
I know.
A mischievous crow named Black Crow took the crescent moon. He thought the crescent moon would be a wonderful decoration for his nest. Fatty Bear exclaimed in surprise, "Black Crow? But why would he do that?" Old Star smiled kindly. Black Crow was very lonely. He wanted something shiny and beautiful to be his friend. But he didn't understand that true beauty lies in sharing and helping others, not in possessing. Old Star continued, "Long ago, when the world was very dark, the stars shared their light together to warm and illuminate all things. It was that sharing that created the miracle of the universe." White Rabbit, still trembling, hesitantly asked, "Old Star, I'm very afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of facing the unknown. How can I be braver?" Old Star looked at White Rabbit with affectionate eyes. "Being afraid is perfectly natural. But you must remember that every fear holds an opportunity for you to grow.
Take a deep breath, believe in yourself, and in the friends beside you.
And remember that even in the darkness, there is always light." Old Star gently stroked White Rabbit's head. "Courage is not the absence of fear, but overcoming your fears." Brown Squirrel curiously asked, "What about the waning moon, Old Star? Where is Black Crow's nest?" Old Star pointed towards a small tunnel leading deep into the cave. "Black Crow's nest is on top of the ancient tree, right above this cave. You must be careful. Black Crow is very cunning and won't easily return the waning moon." Following Old Star's instructions, the group began to make a plan. Golden Eyes, with his sharp eyes, quickly sketched a diagram of the ancient tree and the location of the crow's nest. The crow's nest is very high and protected by many thorny branches. "We need a meticulous plan," said Golden Eyes, his voice full of seriousness. Brown Squirrel, with his characteristic agility, immediately volunteered, "Let me climb up first. I can easily maneuver through the thorny branches. But I need support to reach that height." Fat Bear nodded, patting his chest, "Leave that to me. I will use my strength to create a solid platform for you to climb on." White Rabbit, though still trembling, regained some confidence after Old Star's advice. I can use my dexterity to distract Black Crow. I'll pretend to be a plumpworm, surely it will be busy chasing me." Just then, the deep voice of Long-Armed Ape rang out, "Let me help you. I can use my long arms to create a rope, helping Brown Squirrel climb higher." Long-Armed Ape quickly swung himself onto a nearby branch, starting to use his strong arms to create a sturdy rope.
And don't forget me. Rolling Snake slithered over.
I can create a secret tunnel under the tree roots, helping us approach the crow's nest discreetly. Black Crow won't know where we're coming from. Rolling Snake began digging under the damp soil, creating a small tunnel but large enough for a few animals to crawl through. Golden Eyes nodded approvingly. "Excellent. The plan is complete."
We will act now.
Brown Squirrel, climb up first with the support of Long-Armed Ape and Fat Bear.
White Rabbit, get ready to distract Black Crow. Rolling Snake, lead us through the secret tunnel.
And I will observe from above, coordinating everything. The air becomes tense but also full of determination. Each animal is aware of their role in this important rescue. They know that only by working together can they bring the crescent moon back to the sky, bringing light and joy back to the magical forest. The area around the crow's nest became chaotic. Brown Squirrel, as quick as lightning, reached the crescent moon. It carefully removed it from the branches and dry leaves that the crow had used to decorate. The crescent moon, though slightly dimmed by dust, still radiated a soft light.
Hurry up! Black Crow is coming back.
White Rabbit shouted, running and pretending to be chased, attracting the mischievous crow's attention. Fat Bear used his strength to hold the crow's nest, preventing it from falling to the ground, while Long-Legged Monkey used a self-made rope to pull the crescent moon down safely. Rolling Snake quickly led everyone away from the dangerous area through a secret tunnel. When they brought the crescent moon out of the cave and towards the sky, a silence fell. Golden-Eyed Owl gently released the crescent moon into the sky. Immediately, the gentle moonlight spread throughout the magical forest, dispelling the darkness and bringing warmth. Cheers echoed throughout the forest. The animals hugged each other, overjoyed. Even Black Crow, seeing the moonlight return, felt remorseful. It flew down, bowing its head and apologizing to everyone. I'm sorry. I just wanted something beautiful to decorate my nest. I didn't know that taking the crescent moon would cause so much trouble. Mr. Star smiled kindly. Sometimes we do wrong things without realizing the consequences. The important thing is that we know how to admit our mistakes and make amends. White Rabbit, standing next to Brown Squirrel and Fat Bear, felt a surge of pride. It was no longer the timid rabbit it once was. I helped everyone, it said, its voice full of confidence.
I'm not afraid anymore. Squirrel Brown patted White Rabbit on the shoulder. Wonderful.
You were very brave. Fat Bear nodded in agreement. We overcame all difficulties together. That's the power of friendship. The magical forest returned to its peaceful and happy state as before.
The gentle moonlight shone on every corner, bringing sweet dreams to all the animals.
As soon as the moonlight returned, Big Bear, with his boundless kindness, announced a grand feast to celebrate the return of the crescent moon and the friendship of everyone. The entire forest became lively. Birds chirped merrily, squirrels swiftly hung garlands of forest flowers, and Rolling Snake took on the task of decorating the cave with glowing stones found earlier.
We need lots of honey.
Big Bear exclaimed cheerfully, starting to prepare his special gift.
And berries, lots and lots of berries. You all deserve a magnificent feast.
While Big Bear was busy with cooking, Brown Squirrel and White Rabbit sat together under the ancient tree. The soft moonlight illuminated the soft fur of both of them.
What do you think, White Rabbit?
Brown Squirrel asked, his eyes sparkling with joy. You've changed so much since the beginning of this journey. White Rabbit smiled, his long ears twitching slightly. I didn't expect I could be so brave. Thanks to all of you, I overcame my fear. We're a team. Brown Squirrel replied, gently patting White Rabbit on the back. You helped me cross the rushing stream, and I helped us find the glowing stone in the cave. Everyone has an important role. From then on, Brown Squirrel and White Rabbit became close friends. They explored the forest together, shared stories, and helped each other in every situation. Brown Squirrel no longer teased White Rabbit. Instead, he always protected and encouraged his little friend. When the party began, the whole forest gathered together. Big Bear shared sweet honey, the birds brought fresh berries, and Rolling Snake told captivating fairy tales. Everyone sang, danced, and enjoyed the happy moment. Old Man Star, with a gentle smile, looked down at the forest from above. He knew that these little animals had learned a valuable lesson. Friendship, unity, and courage are the most important things in life. The magical forest returned to its peaceful and happy state as before, but now it is even more beautiful and meaningful thanks to the sincere friendship of all creatures.